My mentor is Dr. David M. Anderson of USA. His popular book is Design for Manageability and Concurrent Engineering. I wish to bring a DFM movement in India under his leadership, which is still evading. By virtue of my partnering with him, I was able to interact with a few South Indian engineering companies as well as engineering universities. I found that DFM itself has to be simplified, and I developed my own DFM concepts and shared with my mentor. He is the first person to appreciate the concepts, which are the results of a cross-functional thinking between Taoism and DFM, between DFM and Taoism. The basic inputs to me on Taoism came from Dr. Fritjof Capra's The Tao of Physics. Dr. Capra wrote on parallels between Eastern Taoism and Western physics in this book. Here I have found parallels between Taoism and DFM in my recent book. So I have christened my DFM as Tao of DFM. The outcome is my DFM handbook titled as Taoist Directions for Design and Development. Capra himself also was presented with my own book, which he also appreciated. He was lucky enough in meeting a senior authority on design, a well-versed IIT professor, Dr. V.V. Rao, at Bangalore during July 2014, where I could present my DFM handbook, and he fully understood my new concepts on DFM. Dr. Rao came forward to support and publish my book through National Design and Research Forum NDRF, where he is the chairman. www.ndrf.res.in. It's a division of the Karnataka State Center of the Institution of Engineers India, www.igindia.org. This is the image of my own presentations to P.V. Rao in that month. And book was duly released during the Indian Technology Congress 2014 at Bangalore by former Prime Minister of India, Dr. Deva Gowda on 21st August 2014. Following slides are the contents, features, which will tell you more on my DFM, on Tao of DFM. I hereby record my sincere thanks to Dr. V.V. Rao, the NDRF and IE India for this noble gesture. The whole purpose of education is to turn mirrors into windows. Mirrors only show your image or your background, but when you open a window, it is open to the world, a vast world. I am moving from the small mirror on DFM to the wider windows on DFM. What is innovation? There are three circles. One is the circle on the users, what is desirable to users. That is circle of influence. And then another circle, it is on technology, what is possible with technology. Then another big circle, that is on marketplace. The question is, what is viable in the marketplace? Where these three big circles overlap and a product is developed, that's called the innovation or innovative product. A technology without a market is as valuable as a market without a technology. They are both worthless. At one end of the spectrum, you have something interesting running in the lab, and at the other end, you have an interesting insight around a new market. But one won't do, and from the other end of the spectrum or rainbow, your quest is to find the pot of gold at the end. Innovation's double helix is shown here, where one helix is the marketplace, another helix is the innovation. That I call it, that Mr. Dr. Cebulski calls as innovation double helix. Innovation is always a clustered jumble of two extremes. In fact, it is more like a double helix where the customer strand winds around the technology and the technology strand winds around the customer. One strand takes the lead and mutates the other, which in turn spirals, learning and enforcing the operations. For vital thing, you refer to www.shibilsky.com. The best design on this earth is only the body machine, the human being. Mankind has survived millions of years on this earth. Some of the other creations of nature have become extinct. We don't know who is the inventor, designer of this. Human being is the best biological product with the two genders. Is it by natural selection or by fate or survival of the fittest? But these best products are brought to this earth by procreation by men and women for millions of years. By synergizing between the eligible male adult and a female adult, we get the human population, the children. It is for the newborn to be nursed by the parents as well by the society or by the society. The person has to self-protect and grow by proper foods, knowledge additions and maintenance. In this world of intense competition, money has become a common scale of capability index for the individuals as age grows and man has to learn and unlearn. The basic secrets are the continuous renewal of life cells, the mini power plants, an important point to be noted by design engineering professionals while designing for products of higher life cycles. Most of the engineering products, right from ordinary levers to robots, are only reflections or reverse engineered products or systems from the body machine or other creatures of the nature. This design has all examples for symmetry and style, balancing and stabilizing, engineering machines, chemical process equipments, electronics and computer. Everything is there in the human body. A biological computer, we have the telecommunications, we have the media, we have the eyes, we have the images, we have the chemical plants and in the form of digesting system, we have the battery charging the human cell, that is the brain, and we have the sources of energy stored and renewable. It is all renewable. Ships and metal handling. Standby tools like 2 hands, 2 legs, 2 ears, 2 kidneys, 2 eyes, and a virtual eye for brain person. But only one brain with 2 functions, analytical and creative. And as per Hindu mythology, the Lord Shiva had a third eye, which is a powerful eye, which can destroy anything. It is atomic, with a source, which can flare up and destroy anything. That is controlled in the human, in the third eye of the Shiva, the Lord of destruction. And single heart with the 2 functions, pumping and suction of blood. In short, the body machines are having the yang and yin. Human intellects have developed the systems like computers to multiply the human capacity in knowledge or storage of knowledge or to do analysis. And we have developed yoga to synergize the breathing, the media of life in the body. Cloning by scientific means have proved man's ability to research and innovation in creations at a hard cost, huge cost. In short, this body machine is the best designed animal on earth, having acquired powers to create and destroy also. It is the best reliable product out of Taoist DFM, designed to be a reliable product with a higher quality at lower cost if out of normal delivery in faster time, within about 10 months standard time. All born are supposed to be of better quality by birth. Due to the DNA factors or genetic factors or hereditary factors, some inborn features are passed on to the generations down the line. DFMA.com is the world's first software entity on DFM, which is specializing on the reducing the time for assembly and analyzing the cost in depth. very costly software. They come out with the results of the 100 projects done, where they were able to show that labor cost can be reduced by 42%, parts count by 51%, and reduce the number of personnel by 57%, reduce the weight by 22%, reduce the assembly time by 60%, assembly cost by 45%, assembly tools by 73%, assembly operations by 53%, product lifestyle development cycle as 45%, and total cost as 50%. Tell me which methodology is able to deliver this kind of result. According to my mentor, Dr. David M. Anderson, the DFM is defined as the process of proactively designing products to optimize all manufacturing functions, fabrication, assembly, test, procurement, shipping, delivery and service and repair. And the next thing is assured by design the best cost, quality, reliability, regulatory compliance, safety and time to market and customer satisfaction. Ensure that lack of manufacturability does not compromise functionality. Scaling new product introductions and product delivery. Improvement programs, strategic initiatives and unexpected surges in product demand. And designed for manufacturability.com is the website of my mentor, where he transparently shares with everybody the philosophy of DFM and how to do it. And there is a very interesting report by Dr. Sanjay Ramaswamy from India, from Arizona State University, where he has studied all methodologies in the world, and he has come out with a report which says that insufficient scientific base under the softwares and the enormous data are compiled within the computer and software. Human intervention and feedback are rare. DFMA methods have little efforts on the conceptual stage, where most of the product cost is fixed. Insufficiency due to inability to provide redesigned solutions or suggestions to modify shapes in the case of unsuitable designs. That is the lacuna in the software method and the earlier methods of DFM. That gave the inputs to me that I took it as the starting points for my book, Taoist Directions for Design and Development. Taoism define what is my creations. This definition is taken from the quotes from the Taoist monk, great Taoist monk, Tao Te Ching. That is spokes join in one hub. In its emptiness, there is a function of a vehicle. Mix clay to create a container. In its emptiness, there is function of a container. Cut open the doors and windows to create a room. In its emptiness, there is function of a room. Therefore, that which exists is used to create benefit. That which is empty is used to create functionality. That is creations, as told by the greatest Taoist monk, Tao Te Ching. On the similar lines, I define Tao of DFM as 64 spokes or modules join in one hub, Tao of DFM. In its emptiness, there is design or yang. That is the function of the manufacturability, the yin. That which exists, the manufactured product, which is used to create benefits, that is yin in terms of tangibles. That which is empty is the design, that is used to create product or functionality, that yang, the design is the yang, it is in terms of intangibles. Usually in 80% of the cost of any engineering product is determined by the design division, which approves the design. Once the design is approved in the design department, 80% of the cost is already fixed. Another 20% is left to play by the management team or other members of the management team. I think design is costing around 8% the total cost. And initially DFM found its applications in PCB manufacture and then into other electronics industry. Slowly the application has expanded to manufacturing of discrete engineering products and assemblies. Even in India, which is so far remained dependent on imported technology and external collaborations, DFM is now being thought of to bring innovative products. Now we'll see the gaps in other sectors of the world. The gap between design and manufacturability is the reflections of gaps between the following. It is equivalent to the reflections of the gaps between the following: the gap between the theory and practice, the gap between man and woman, the gap between Lord Shiva and Parvati, the gap between yang and yin, the gap between voltage and current, the gap between software and hardware, the gap between positive and negative polarities of the earth or the electricity, or the gap between the north and southern poles of magnetism of the earth, or the gap between the right and left halves of the human brain, and also the gap between the conscious mind and subconscious mind. You can find inbuilt attractions between the above kind of opposing entities due to nature, science. Mission of TDFM is to embed similar attractions between design and manufacturability, which are having a Berlin Wall in between. In our planet, there are numerous things of dual forces or entities that are complementary to each other and are also independent of each other. The integration of these two opposing forces alone can create the essentials of life and matter. Each has a destined role to play, and without proper integration of synergy between the two opposing entities, nothing can be created on this earth. Design and manufacturability are equated to these dual entities in this book, Taoist Directions for Design and Development. TDFM arrives here to break the Berlin Wall between design and manufacturability by adopting TDFM. Design and manufacturability have to dance together, not merely with arms to arms, but also cheek to cheek, with music from innovation engineering and lyrics from concurrent engineering. Both the holistic and creative minds of the CET will do a gap analysis, criteria-wise, pillar-wise, of assurances for design as per the following criteria. Both the holistic and creative minds of the concurrent engineering team will do a gap analysis, criteria-wise, pillar-wise, of the assurances for design as per the following criteria. First is DFBC, design for best cost. The second is DFBQ, design for best quality. The third is design for best reliability, DFBR. And the fourth is design for best compliance to regulations and sustainability, DFBCRS. And fifth is design for best safety, that is DFBS. Sixth is design for best time to market, that is DFBTM. And seventh is design for best function and style, DFBFS. And design for best satisfaction to customer. Here I have brought in style industrial design as part of the conventional design concurrently. That industrial design has to be taken care of while designing the basic engineering functional design also. Not that we finish the functional design and then give it to industrial designer, and there is always a mismatch between the functional design, shape and outlook or weight compared to industrial design. That's why we insist on industrial design as part of the functional team, cross-functional team, which decides on the total design. And all this criteria will be synergized by all the following best systems for optimization. Number one is the best system for procurement, BSP. Number two is the best system for manufacturing, that is BSM. Number three is the best system for assembly, BSA. Number four is the best system for testing, BST. Then number fifth is the best system for packing and shipping, BSPS. Number 6 is the best system for supply and delivery, BSSD. And number 7 is the best system for service and maintenance, BSSM, and last but the least best system for repair. Here you can see under 5th and 6th and 7th, packing and shipping are combined, they are related function. Then next is supply and delivery are combined because there is a related function activity. And then service and maintenance, it is a related activity. That's why we broadly put under three separate things, not another 3 systems. That way we confine that to 8, as we are confined to our 8 criteria. We have 8 systems as per the Taoist recommendations of the concurrent engineering team. And people know what are the popular 10 commandments as per Christianity. And similar lines, I have put some 10 commandments on the top of DFM. Thou shalt design with functional performance. Thou shalt design with concurrent engineering support. Thou shalt design with industrial design concurrently. Thou shalt design with minimum parts count. Thou shalt design with minimum fasteners. Thou shalt design with minimum time. Thou shalt design with minimum weight. Thou shalt design with minimum number of operations. Thou shalt design with minimum tools. Thou shalt design with minimum tooling cost, total cost. Concurrent engineering and innovation engineering are the main focus for all the criteria on systems of manageability. The CE and IE are to be structurally reinforced on the top of DFM. Young is like a software and in is like hardware. Only by the integration of the software and hardware, the BIOS and the OS, we can bring into action the 7th sense of mankind, the computers. In contains the seed of young and vice versa. They constantly transform from one another. For example, there is no energy without matter, no day without night. The classic state, yin creates yang and yang activates yin. And the TDFM, yang, the design, and the yin, the manufacturability, interact dynamically to deliver reliable DFM solutions through the BIOS, the E and the OS, the IE. The mantras of TDFM are to make use of both the creative minds and the holistic minds through the route of concurrent engineering. It has to be golden blend of the west to the east and vice versa. This is the essence of top of DFM, a dynamic interplay or synergy between design and manageability. The Taoist as widely displayed under Taoist directions for design and development, TDDD. The creative and holistic approaches complement each other in various ways. If confronted with a similar object, we tend to make the holistic approach. If confronted with an unfamiliar object, we take the creative approach. For a given specific object, we can often switch between the two approaches by making a fresh analysis of what is used to be familiar or by disregarding compositional parts in favor of the function of the whole. Given complex object may only be analyzed in certain parts or aspects. The internal structure of other parts remains out of consideration. Let us see how young and in the manufacturability dawns together. You can visit my websites dfmablog.com, and you can visit my other website dfmhandbook.com and buy the book, a soft copy or a hard copy, and also email to me on engineer ramalingam.ks@gmail.com or contact me in my Indian mobile number 978996541 to see more on Tao DFM, and all preliminary questions are answered online free of cost. When it comes to next stage, we will take up on case to basis, or you can email to me to get the PDF on my presentations made through GoToWebinar on 15th of April. This is only my introductory talk on the same 1 hour presentations I made on 15th of April. Thank you very much. Hoping to hear more from you on top of the April. Thank you.